Hello, I'm Dong-hwan Kim. As information and communication technology develops, e-commerce connecting farmers and consumers is expanding revolutionarily in every country. Korea is not an exception. In this presentation, I will introduce online marketing system of agro-food in Korea. Let me introduce myself first. I'm professor of Anyang University, and I am a president of Agro-food, a new marketing institute. I'll talk about changes in food consumption and distribution since outbreak of COVID-19. And secondly, I'll talk about situation of online retailing in Korea. And thirdly, I'll briefly talk about the implications of this kind of changes. Consumption and distribution of agro-food changes significantly since outbreak of COVID-19. Untagged transactions, which minimize the risk of infection, increased sharply, and online shopping increased significantly among old consumers as well as young consumers. Online retailing becomes a major marketing channel, whereas the offline retailing becomes minor channels. This presentation explains online shopping revolution of agro-food in Korea since outbreak of corona pandemic. First of all, I'll talk about changes in food consumption and distribution since outbreak of COVID-19. Online food sales increased significantly due to corona pandemic. As you can see in this table, processed food and agricultural and fishery and livestock product and food delivery service increased their volume very sharply during 2019 to 2020. So processed food increased 46.4%, and agricultural product increased 66.9%, and the food delivery service increased 78%. Whereas the service, excluding food service, decreased 40% of 2 points. And other items increased only 20%. So you can see in the food sector, the sales of online shopping increased sharply. And also we can see the changes in purchasing price of fresh food items. As you can see this figure, the hypermarket, the share of hypermarket is decreasing, and but you can see the share of online shopping is increasing sharply. This means since the outbreak of COVID-19, the consumers use more often than before the online shopping. We can see also changes in food expenditures. We can see increase in the expenditure on food at home. Such as the convenience food. We in Korea, the consumption of HMR and meal kit. You know, the HMR is home meal replacement. This is the food which is ready to eat or ready to heat product, such as the cooked rice, packaged rice, soup, and kimchi, and etc. These are pictures of the HMR. We can buy very many kinds of the prepared food like kimchi and soup. And we also see there are a lot of consumptions of meal kit. The meal kit means the food ingredient with the recipe. As you can see this picture, they put the raw ingredient like meat and vegetables and other items, and with the recipe to how to cook. So the consumers can make easily the tasty the dishes at home. So with this kind of product, the consumers in Korea increased the purchase of convenience food from online shopping. But the expenditure on food away from home, such as the restaurant and some other eating place, is decreasing. So we see the crisis in restaurant businesses. So their sales is decreasing sharply since the outbreak of COVID-19. In this figure, before COVID-19 and first half of 2020, you can see some difference in the frequency in visit to restaurant. As you can see this table, after the outbreak of COVID-19, the consumers reduced the number of visits to restaurant. Also, as consumers prefer the food at home, they like the domestic and local food. So as you can see this figure, the consumers the preference to domestic and local food increased a little bit. So the more people are more interested in the domestic and local food since COVID-19. From now on, I'll talk about the situation of online retailing in Korea. As you can see, the first part, the online retailing is increasing very sharply. So the retail market is changing revolutionary as online shopping expands. As you can see, the advantages of online retailing is overcoming time and space restraints and decrease in distribution cost, and we also see the speedy and door-to delivery. So because of this kind of advantages, online retailers it grew very fast. So among very kinds of online retailers, we could see the Coupang and Market Korea's major players. So their sales grew very fast because of the convenience and low prices and product diversity. And also they provide untapped marketing channel. Also they provide speedy delivery and cold chain systems and mobile environment. But the traditional retailers like department stores and hypermarkets are suffering from a decrease in their sales. This figure, this graph shows the changes in the sales of each category. This is the online shopping, and this is convenience. But the hypermarket and supermarket, the sales of hypermarket and supermarket is stagnated. So you can see that the only internet shopping and convenience stores, sales of these two categories increased sharply since the 2015. So we call since the 2015, we call this kind of phenomena as the online retailing revolution. This figure shows the sales by retail format. Total retail sales in 2020 increased only 16.4% than 2015. The total sense, the total retail sales increased only 16%, but the non-store retailing, including online shopping, increased 111.3%, a huge increase. But the department store and hyperstore, their increase of the sales is very small. Department store showed even the negative growth rate, while hypermarkets shows only 3% of sales increase. The share of total retail sales accounted for by online shopping increased from 21.4% in 2019 to 27.2% in 2020. Agricultural product accounted for 3.6%, and processed food took 12.1% of total sales of online shopping. This means agricultural product get a very small share in total online shopping, but food delivery service accounted for 11.9% of total online sales. The food delivery service is the kind of mobile application which connect consumers and restaurants. This kind of new technologies is developing very fast nowadays. Among online shopping, mobile shopping accounted for 70.5% of total online sales. So we have several specialized food delivery service like People of Delivery and Yogiyo or something like that. And the comparativeness of online shopping is we can find in early morning delivery, especially for the fresh food items, which makes the consumers very happy with that. Product recommendation function and convenience payment and two-way communications. All these kind of things makes the online shopping more comparative than the offline shopping. So there are several big players in online shopping in Korea. The last one is Naver. Naver is the largest portal site in Korea. More than 70% of Korean people, they first visit the Naver when searching the site, something like that. So Naver is one of the powerful search engine in Korea. So they also have the business site that is they call it smart stores, open market, with the sales of 28 trillion won. The second largest one is the Coupang. Coupang is the second largest online retailer in Korea, and SSG, which is operated by the Shinsegae Group, and Gmarket is one of the largest open market in Korea. Let me talk about some case of the online retailers. First of all, the first one is Coupang. Coupang is the very famous for the locket delivery system, which is the speedy delivery system, which utilized own fulfillment centers with own delivery system. Most of the Korean online retailers use the specialized delivery company, but the Coupang utilize their own delivery system. This makes the Coupang more competitive than other competitors. Coupang, because of this kind of competitive advantages, the total sales of Coupang increased from 1.9 trillion won in 2016 to 13.3 trillion won 2020. Huge increase in sales, but they still suffering from the huge loss. In 2016, they lost 0.57 trillion won. Still, they are suffering from the same amount of the loss in 2020. Their loss is due to the high cost in own delivery system. But they are very successful in financially. They offer public offer. Initial public offer was done at New York Stock Exchange, securing 4.0 trillion won as capital gain. The second, excellent case is Market Query. Market Query is the number one fresh food online retailer in Korea. They specialized in the sales of the fresh food. They are very competitive by adopting early morning delivery system with full cold chain system. They delivered the agricultural product where the consumers order very early morning, about 5 or 6 morning, so which makes the product very fresh. So because of this kind of comparative advantages, the number of members exceed 4 million persons in 2020. They also, because of this kind of comparative advantage, the sales also increased from 2.9 billion won 2015 to about 1 trillion won in 2020. But they still lost a lot of deficit. So their loss is about 54 billion won in 2015 and 1,163 billion won in 2020. The loss comes from the high cost in advertising, promotion, early morning delivery system. There are also several food delivery startups. Which connect consumers with the restaurant, and they deliver the food from the restaurant to consumer. So one of the largest one is the people of delivery. We in Korean term 배달의 민족 or 배민 provide delivery service, not only food from restaurant but also basic necessities like ramen and packaged rice through B-Mart. So they are started to sell the product with the food delivery the applications. People of Delivery was acquired by Delivery Hero of Germany at 4.8 trillion won, a huge money in 2019. There are also many specialized online food malls. There are many kinds of small-sized food malls which are very successful in the market. They use live commerce, real-time selling during the live sales, like this kind of pictures. And some sellers specialized in the fresh meat, and also some farmers are selling their product through the SNS, like Facebook, Instagram, and KakaoTalk. KakaoTalk is the one of the largest messenger program in Korea. So like Inhane and Dolcenet, these sites are very famous in Instagram and Facebook also. The offline, traditional offline retailers also is strengthening. They also focus on the online retailing too. The largest operator of hypermarket chain in Korea, eMart, recently bought eBay.com. eBay.com is the one of the largest online retailer in Korea. They operate Gmarket and auction site, which is the open market. So by acquiring eBay.com, so online sales of eMart increased from 3.9 trillion won to 21.2 trillion won. And Lotte Shopping, one of the largest retailer in Korea, which operate department store and hypermarket, supermarkets, convenience stores, and TV home shopping, is also expanding online business through Lotte On. So there is an integration of online and offline retailing. So we so-called O2O. There are huge changes in O2O business. Also, in Korea, we see the expansion of subscription economy. The subscription-based economy is the concept where consumers pay a recurring price at regular intervals for access to a product or service. The model is designed to keep consumers engaged for a long time relationship with the business. So with this kind of subscription economy, the sellers can enjoy stabilized sales because they sell regularly. The total size of subscription-based economy grew 32.8% in Korea. So examples of subscription economy in the agricultural sector is like Kurumi. Kurumi is a kind of community-supported agriculture with a membership. So member pay for the membership fee, and they get the fresh food from the farmers regularly. And also there are many subscription economy sites. For example, some GS dollar market delivers fruits regularly, and there is also kimchi sellers who sells the kimchi regularly. Also in Korea, the Korean government has initiated operation of online wholesale trading system, in which farmers and farm organizations sell their product to retailers, jobbers, and restaurants through online auction. As you can see this figure, through online wholesale trading system, farmers and farmer organizations sell their product online, and retailers and restaurant jobbers can participate in online bidding. So they have a online auction system, and with this kind of transaction system, they can sell and buy. But the product can deliver directly from farmers or farmer organizations to the buyers, directly delivery. So now National Agricultural Cooperative Federation (NACF) is in charge of operation for onion and garlic. It will gradually increase the number of product items. So this is totally government sponsored the operation by the National Agricultural Cooperative Federation. Now the sales is very small, but they're expecting this kind of online wholesaling system will increase their sales very fast. Lastly, I'll talk about the implications of this change. First of all, as the size of online retailing grows fast, farmers organizations have to recognize the importance of online marketing. If farmers and farm organizations do not participate in online marketing on time, they will suffer from loss of sales in the future. On the online marketing environment, consumer preferences and consumption pattern changes so fast. Farmers and farm organizations should keep an eye on changes in the marketing trend. So this is a very important point. The consumer pattern, consumption pattern changes very fast. Because of this, farmers and farm organizations have to track the changes. Also, it is recommended that farmers and farm organizations develop a convenience product such as home meal replacement, prepared food items, fresh cut product, and meal kit, which I talked before. I'll talk about implications for the government. As competition among online retailers is getting harder, it is more likely that online retailers exercise market power by squeezing prices they pay to farmers and by doing unfair trade practices such as illegal return of purchased product, delaying the payment to farmers. Facing these kind of unfair trade practices, the government should monitor trade practices of online retailers and rigorously enforce fair trade regulations to online retailers. Also, it is desirable that the government help farmers sell their product online by offering training courses which make farmers understand characteristics of online marketing, online sales techniques, and marketing skills utilizing SNS, social network services such as Facebook, Instagram, and etc. So that means the government should help farmers understand the techniques of the online sales. The government also can support farmers to find appropriate online retailers by doing matchmaking functions. The government have to introduce the appropriate online retailers for farmers to sell. Lastly, I'll talk about implications for farmer cooperatives. It is desirable for agricultural cooperatives to collaborate with major online retailers such as the Coupang and some other online retailers in a way that National Agricultural Cooperative Federation supplies products of their members to online retailers. In order to carry out the functions of supporting agricultural product to online retailers, NACF, National Agricultural Cooperative Federation, should utilize their retail stores as distribution centers for online businesses. For the success of online wholesaling system, it is necessary to increase the reliability of product, to invent efficient promotional programs, and to have efficient delivery system with the lowest cost. So far, I talk about the changes in online marketing in Korea, and I suggest some kind of implications for farmers and government. So I think we see very fast changes in the online retailing. Our farmers and government have to prepare appropriately. Thank you very much.